Welcome to the Dream Catalyst podcast. I'm Joan Daniels, your host. I believe God has given you a dream. He has given you a particular purpose and path to walk out in this life. And because God has given you this dream, He's given you everything you need in order to walk that purpose and plan out. All the right people, all the right circumstances, everything you're going to need to equip you and empower you along the way. And that's what this podcast is about. I pray that it blesses you, empowers you, and brings you hope. Hi, welcome to the Dream Catalyst podcast and the very first episode, which is titled Ignite Your Dreams. My name's Joan Daniels, and I am a former physical therapist. I actually specialized in wound care and neuro rehab, so stroke, head injury, spinal cord injury, pretty heavy duty stuff back in the day. That was my first main job after I got my master's degree. I have an undergraduate degree in biology. I've always been fascinated by the human body, science, what it can tell us about everything, you guys, from literally how the world works to how your body and how your mind work. So I've always found myself fascinated by how people get where they're going and how people really can walk out their dreams. I remember as a little kid, I used to walk past people's houses. I would be exercising. I used to run, believe it or not. Now you can barely catch me running, but you probably have to tie me to the back of your car to run. But honestly, back in the day, I used to run like several miles a day, was a cross-country runner. And I used to always think to myself, I wonder how their lives are. You know, I'd run past somebody's house and smell that laundry smell, or, could smell them grilling on the grill. And I knew that people were just out there having their lives. And I always wondered, I wonder how they're doing. I wonder if they're having a happy life. And I wonder if they're doing what they want to be doing. So it's kind of interesting that here I am as a coach, life and business coach with my own business now, and this beautiful podcast that's been in the works for about 15 years, to be really honest with you, because people fascinate me. The mind fascinates me. I want to know how to get you there faster. So in my second phase, I actually joined a company and started mentoring people on how to build a business, how to ignite your dreams, how to actually get to a place where financially you felt free enough to be able to go out and live those dreams. And that's been my job for 22 plus years. And I have loved every minute of it. And I'll tell you what I've learned between physical therapy and just empowering people across the planet to start their own businesses and be able to grow them into a place where they want them to be. The biggest thing that I've learned is that you can do anything you put your mind to. That honestly, deep down from my heart, if I could gift this to you and put it in your brain, I would. God has given you this dream, and it's okay, whatever it is. For some people, it's very superficial. They want this or they want that, or they want to travel. It's all good. I have palm trees on my shirt today. I will work to travel. I love to travel. I love to see the world. I love to be with my family and my good friends and people I love. It's just something I love to do. And I'm sure you have those things in your life that you love to do. And the deal is for me that what struck me most was how beat down most people are. And that's before you have a life-changing circumstance that might be neurological or stroke or head injury or some tragedy. You guys, most people out there have forgotten about those dreams. They've forgotten them completely. Do you remember when you were a little kid and you used to dream big? Maybe you dreamed about being a baseball star or a basketball player or a ballerina or a doctor or frog pursuer, a frog expert. I don't know, but you remember as a kid, you could dream about anything as big as you wanted and there were just no limits. Well, I find that most adults need to kind of go back to that childlike mindset. We've not only, this is before the pandemic, this is before COVID, we have a hard time dreaming. So this episode is to wake you up and help you get back there. So the first thing I want to talk about is just, what do you really want? One of the first exercises I do with people in coaching and have over the last 22 plus years is, what do you want? We're so clear about what we don't want, but we're so unclear about what we do want. Do you get me? So what do you want? I want you to start a dreams list. That's your very first task. Start a dreams list. I want 50 up to 300 dreams that you want. Okay. I say 50 as a minimum because it is hard sometimes once you pass about 25 to figure it out. And it's okay. Once you pass about 25, you're allowed to get with your significant other or your family members or whatever, and you can incorporate kind of a whole goal or a whole dream list with all of them. But I want you to start with you. And I want you to start with who you are first. Who do you want to be when you grow up? You know? What kind of characteristics do you want to have as a person? I want you to start there because who you are, okay, is literally the whole big old deal. It really is, because who you are is so important and it translates into how you interact with the world. So who are you? What kind of character do you want to have? What kind of integrity? What kind of attitude? What kind of mental attitude? Do you want to be in love with people and in love with life? Do you want to have joy all the time? Do you want to be laughing? Who do you want to be? We have to start with who you are as an identity, okay? I want to highly recommend a book right now. Jamie Winship has written the most amazing, life-changing book. I read it about 2 years ago, I believe now. But you guys, it's one of those books, and I'm an avid reader. Like I said, I love to learn. I love to learn anything really that fascinates me, to be honest, which would not be geography or anything with history. Thank God I married my husband because he knows that stuff for me. No, for real though, I'm terrible at that stuff. But honestly, the deal is, I do believe that you have been given an identity and that God or love or whatever you want to call God right now, I'm all good with whatever you consider God right now. Love calls you a name. And he calls you a specific name. And Jamie Winship was the first person that really talked to me in that book about what that means and what that looks like. So if you want to explore that, you know, Google Jamie Winship. He's got podcasts about identity. He's got a website, but he's got an amazing book called Living Fearless. Highly recommend. Stop this podcast and write that down. Living Fearless, Jamie Winship. Life changer. We want to start though with who you are. The next thing is, what do you really want to do? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what kinds of experiences do you want to have? What kind of life do you want to live? I want all those things down on your dreams list, okay? Everything, silly, big, small, anything. You might want to, I don't know, do a backflip from a trapeze. That is definitely not something I'm doing. Or maybe you want to skydive. Okay, again, probably not me. But maybe you want to do something that you've never done before. Or maybe you just want to explore the idea of, you know, I want to do things that surprise me. I want to do things that excite me. I want to bring joy into my life. Okay? All amazing things. So who do you want to be? And then what do you want to do? You've only got so many moments left in this life. And I want you to start maximizing the joy and the love and the laughter and everything you can cram into this life, you guys, because we only get one try. So I want you to do what you really love to do. And I know that that doesn't always translate into money. And we're not talking about money right now. We're talking about, what do you want to do? Like, I want you to think at the end of this dreams list, whether it be 50 things or it be 300 things, I want you to think at the end of your dreams list, if I could be this person, if I could do all these things on this list, and if I could have, that's the third category, if I could have, meaning experience or physically have, that's fine too, I could end that last day of my life, that last breath that I take, and feel like, wow. You know, that whole idea of she skidded in with her hair on fire and like right into the end. Like, if you had this entire list completed and checked off like a bucket list, like, I want you to feel that last breath and be like, wow, I did everything I could do. I was who I wanted to be, right? Like, I don't want to live with any regret. I want to be out there loving on people and doing the best job I can do at whatever it is I'm doing. And I want to have the most joy, the most fun, right? And man, is it true or not that post-pandemic, we have figured out what we don't want, and we have been stuck in a funk for a long time, and whoop, today is the day to wake you up and get you out of that. All right? So dreams list is number one. Who do you want to be? What do you really want to do? And what do you want to have? And you guys, this can be with your family. This could be like for me, seeing my kids happy, successful, having grandchildren, all those things. But it could be, I had somebody on my team that wanted a sauna in her house, and I've had people want first class travel. I mean, this is unlimited, okay? No one is going to sit in judgment on this list. So I want you to be honest. What would be so phenomenal that you would be like giddy excited about it? That's how I want you to feel about this dreams list, okay? So you're going to start that dreams list today. The second piece is we want to get really clear about the picture of the life that you are creating. And the brain oftentimes, science says, works in pictures. Now, I know some of us can visualize and we see like the color TV screen, and other of us visualize and it looks like the old snowy gray out of focus, 1985 TV set that we used to have, right? Am I aging myself? Like we used to think cable was really good quality, and now you look at those films and go, ooh, that looks terrible. Okay, so I want that vision to get crystal clear, because what we want to do is create almost like a movie of your life, the life that you are creating. I want you to be excited about it. And obviously, there are going to be steps that you need to take to live that life, but we're not even there yet. We want to create the movie of how that would look. And the movie in your head, we want to be in color. We want it from your eyes, like looking out at the world, okay? Not like the world looking at you doing it, but you looking out. So I want you to imagine the life. Once you finish your dreams list, I want you to sit down and really paint the picture in your head. Close your eyes, not if you're driving. But close your eyes, and I want you to start picturing what that dream life looks like. How does it make you feel? What kinds of things do you hear and see along that path? I want this to be so powerful that you want to sit in that dream vision. Boy, you want to do it. You want to sit in that gorgeous life. How you feel, how empowered are you? What kind of physical shape, what kind of health are you in? What do you hear from family members? What do you hear from friends? What are they saying to you? Create a full-blown movie. I want to include smells, okay? Everybody's got those smells. Vanilla cookies cooking from Christmas, right? Baking. I want good smells. I want fresh air. I want sea salt in the air if you're at the ocean, or, clean mountain air if you're at the mountains, right? We want to do all the senses. What does it feel like? I want you to feel like you're walking through that movie and you can feel everything. You can feel the leaves on the trees. You can feel the grass under your feet. You can feel the sand between your toes, okay? You can feel the sun beating down, the warmth on your skin, or the cold air as you walk through the snow-covered mountains or something, right? I want you to make a dream vision, okay? That movie in your head. And then I want you to supplement that with whatever it does, whatever really makes you happy. Like you could do a vision book where you have something that sits on your desk or you carry with you, and you're flipping through it as you're visualizing, you're flipping through these pictures. Magazines, you guys, I go get these all the time. Health magazines, food magazines, travel magazines, anything that you can kind of cut and paste. I've even cut out words, health and healthy eating and exercise and, weight training and all the things, travel, beaches, places I want to go, pictures of all. You can print them out these days. You don't even have to get magazines if you don't want to, but you can create a vision book. Some people love a vision board, like a poster board that you can hang up and put in your vision. Some people, me included, sometimes you get to the point where you're like, hey, I got a clear enough vision. I just need some sticky notes with some words on it. I don't care how you do it. It can be a book, it can be a board, it can be sticky notes. But I want this vision of what you are now creating in front of you all the time. I want it to be the first thing you do when you get up, besides go to the bathroom, which I always have to do. I've had 3 children. Go to the bathroom. Then I want you to have your prayer and quiet time with God, whatever that means, whatever that looks like to you. If that's just quiet time, that's perfectly fine. Where you give gratitude, where you thank God, the universe, your creator, for everything that's in this world and all that you are and all that you've experienced. And then I want you to go through your vision, okay? It could be a 2-minute version. It can be a 10-minute version. Depends on the day and how much time you have. But you're going to create that vision book or vision board or however you want, and you're going to do that movie in your head, and you're going to feel all the feelings. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What do you hear? What do you feel in your hands? What do you feel in your feet? Right? Taste it if you can. Taste it if you can. That would be amazing. So I want that first thing in the morning. If you can do it before your feet hit the floor, awesome. If you need to do it after your feet hit the floor with me, like me, and you get a cup of coffee, awesome. Do it however works for you. But before you start your day, I want you to start in this quiet, peaceful time, this gratitude time, prayer time, praise God, ask for what you need, give up your worries, give up your doubts and fears, and then create this vision moment for yourself. I will tell you that when you cultivate your dreams, when you literally put energy into creating them and helping yourself see them as real, all kinds of things will be unlocked in you. You will be inspired. You will find creativity you didn't think you had. And in your quiet time, when you talk to God, your creator, pray to the universe, however you want to call it, when you talk to him, you can say, I'm scared to do this. What do I need to know about this? And what do I need to do about it? Me too, y'all, me too. And thank you again. Shout out to Jamie Winship. He was the first one that really taught me to do this as a practice. Because, I believe the game is rigged. I believe God is for you and not against you, just like the Bible says. I believe you were made for a time such as this. I believe Jeremiah 29:11, he has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future. Ephesians 3:20, to give you above and beyond anything you could ask or even expect, right? All your expectations, anything you could ask or imagine. I believe that to my core. And so in order to do that, he has to get you back in that childlike inspiration, that childlike faith and belief in what's possible. This is the fastest, best way to do it. All right, so you've got that vision book, that vision board. You're taking that time in the morning and the evening to really create that. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about beliefs. Some limiting beliefs and some empowering beliefs you've been given, handed down generationally sometimes, y'all. Sometimes by a teacher, sometimes by a silly friend, sometimes by an enemy, okay? That has planted seeds of doubt and fear and just lack inside your brain that we want to recognize. Because if you're feeling held back by something, it's usually one of these limiting beliefs. How do you know what you believe? You got to write it down. I love to just take a piece of paper and do kind of a brain dump on, okay, what are my beliefs? What do I believe about me? Again, Jamie Winship goes through this, and what are you telling yourself? What are the negative names you're calling yourself? He takes you through that in his book. But I'm talking about just thoughts about the world. You might think all people are out for nothing but good, or you might think, I don't know, that given the chance, everybody would rob you and hurt you. Well, I want you to identify those thoughts, because sometimes, you guys, those thoughts are what's holding you back. Because if that's what you believe, even if it's true, it's probably not helping you live this amazing life you have dreamed up and with your whole heart want, right? And so we have to evaluate, is this helping me? Is this belief helping me? Is this belief helping me go towards who I am and what I believe? And I want to give you this concept that was done at our church that I just loved. There were 2 ways in Australia, apparently, according to what my husband learned at church. There are 2 ways in Australia that ranchers take care of cattle, okay? One is just with a simple fence, okay? So just draw a simple square. So all the cattle that are in this square are doing the right thing, right? They're in the boundaries. These are all my cattle, right? There's all my cattle. The ones that are outlying, they're outside my fence. That's not good, right? So you have outliers. The other way that they do that is they create a well in the middle of the field so that the cattle come to the well, right? So now I've got all these cattle all around my well. Here you go, right? Okay, so this is a great way to think about life. So if you think your life is full of boundaries like this, limitations, whatever, okay? Or if you're a Christian, you might think of Jesus is inside the box. Anything outside of what Jesus would want for your life is outside the box and not good. Well, the problem with this is, one, you're still going to have behaviors, thoughts, emotions that are outside these little boundaries, correct? You're human, right? You're going to mess up. When you're outside, it feels very hard to get back in. Whereas if you're a Christian, let's say, and your thought is, I want to be like Jesus, right? Or like the person who I want to become, full of integrity, full of passion, full of work ethic, full of integrity, full of character, right? Then every thought, every action is a vote, right? I'm just going to do this really quick on a few of these so you can kind of see. So everyone is either towards or away from, right, who you're becoming, who's at the center. If you can imagine a circle at the center and all those little dots, you're either going towards who you want to be or away from who you want to be. And so I want you to understand your belief systems are just thoughts that you've thought more than once. And a lot of times the deeper belief systems is just something somebody planted in your brain, maybe when you were little. Some people were taught, I remember I spoke to a gentleman who in second grade, a teacher told him he was stupid and it stuck. And for the rest of his life, he believed he was stupid. Can you believe that? Like, what a lie. So the enemy can plant those fears and doubts and wrong statements about who you are as well. So if you don't know what these are, you can't decide whether they really are going towards who you want to become, going towards the life that you want, or if they're going away. But every action, everything you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and really even what time you go to bed and how long you sleep and all those things, y'all, they're votes for you either going towards or away from the life that you want and who you want to become. Well, how do we get rid of those self-limiting beliefs and those yucky things that aren't helping us, aren't serving us anymore? And understand a lot of those are because you were trying to protect yourself, or your brain was trying to protect you, or your emotions were trying to protect you, right? You got hurt, so therefore you've shoved everybody away, and now you're the lone wolf, that kind of thing, right? Well, at one time, that was your survival mechanism, but does that serve you now, right? You are always evolving and changing and becoming. I believe from the time you were birthed to the time you were gone from this earth, it's one big classroom. It's one of the things that has helped me so tremendously, in my life, is that I believe we're all the same. I think it's why I kind of am who I am in the dark and the light. And, if you meet me on the bus, I'm the same as if you meet me at a gala or something, right? I think everybody's the same. I don't care what job you have, what economic status you have. We're all the same. We want all the same things. We want to feel loved. We want to be seen. We want to see others. We want to feel important. We want to make others feel important. We want to have an impact, right? We want to be healthy. We want to be successful. We want to have joy in our lives. I mean, all the same. And it doesn't really matter what country you go to. Those are all the same too. But those self-limiting beliefs, once we identify them, we can say this no longer serves me, right? So what I want you to understand too is just a concept that your behavior is right here, which as a coach, what people want me to do is, hey, can you force me to do this? I really want to do this thing that I don't want to do. Like me, can you tie me to the back of your truck? I have told a personal trainer that. Yes, I have. Because that's the only way I'm going to run, sister. So if you tie me to the back of your truck, make me, right? Or I drag. Okay. So my whole point is, that you really want to identify that, right? What is the behavior that you're really seeking? Well, behind the behavior is always an emotion, right? I know when people go, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing this. Well, the reason you don't feel like doing something, that behavior, is because you have an emotion that's negative around it. And all your emotions are, think of a thermostat on the wall. If I had a thermostat behind me, it's either going to tell me if I'm hot or I'm cool or what the temperature is, and I can set the temperature, right? So your emotions are the thermostat. Are they happy and joyful and wonderful? So they're up here, right? Kind of going towards the light, if you will. Or are they swirling down, the toilet bowl of life, the negative emotions? Neither is bad. It's just the thermostat. Your emotional state is just identifying where you're at on that scale. Are you going up towards the light and happiness, joy? Or are you going down towards the yuck, right? We know that when we're in those good places, we make good decisions. And when we're in the bad places, oh yeah, I'm eating all the potato skins and all the cheesecake, right? And all the ice cream, Bluebell preferentially. All right, so you with me? So your behavior, a lot of times you'll notice because you're in the middle of eating the Bluebell container, right? That's me. I'm just calling myself out right now. But you're in the middle of and you catch the behavior and go, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? I know this is not going to help me. Well, you back it up. There was a negative emotion that you were coping with or, whatever feeling, right? You were feeling it. Sometimes you can identify the color and the shape. And is it a gnarly pit in your stomach? Where is it at in your body, right? Therapists can help you work through all of that. What does that emotion look like, feel like, right? Because a lot of times we're so remote, we might not recognize the emotion at all, right? We might only get the behavior. I mean, a lot of people end up in prison or, in drug rehab and still don't get it. They still didn't get like this action was awful and not necessary and maybe harmful to me and my other people. They never caught it. Not even at the action. Someone had to catch them, right? Someone had to call them out. And that's okay because remember, life is a classroom. We're all just learning. That's it. Nobody's ahead of you and nobody's super behind you. Nobody's holier than you and nobody's less holy. I feel like we're all just sinners and we're all just learning, right? We're all work in progress, right? Till our last breath. So when you understand that the action precedes the action is the emotion is first, then the actions. Okay, well, if you back that up, the emotions are coming from your thinking, and that's it. So your thinking, your beliefs, the thoughts you keep thinking over and over are just beliefs. That thinking is getting you to the behavior. And so the problem is people don't identify what they're thinking that's causing them to not do the behavior or to do the behavior. And you cannot change the behavior and you can't let go of these emotions until you deal with what is causing all of that. What kind of thinking is causing all of that? So I challenge you to just kind of brainstorm, get another piece of paper out and just brain dump all the things, all the negative emotions and fears and things that you feel like have been holding you back. Like Jamie Winship says, what names have you been calling yourself? Stupid, or, I'm not capable, or I'm not enough. I have to prove myself. I have to prove my worth. All things, you guys, that most human beings struggle with. The number one thing I see as a coach is I am not enough. And my belief that I have adopted, that I have worked on and decided to believe and repeated to myself over many years is that everyone is doing the best that they can with the thinking that they currently have or what they're capable of right now. That gives you a lot of relief because you can quit blaming everybody for what they've done to you or what they did to you or what they might do to you or how they treat you or blah, 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 right? Because remember that this journey is about you learning and you growing. At least that's my belief, okay? You can choose to reject my belief for sure, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm coming from. And if nothing else, it should help you to believe that too. Everyone is doing the best they can with the current thinking or the capability that they have. The other thing is that you're always going to be learning and growing. No child comes out of the womb walking. But how do we expect to do this in life? You got to learn the lessons. You got to fall down. You got to have those yucky thoughts and feelings, and we've got to mess up a lot. And my philosophy is let's fail big and bold and faster because I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to get the whole enchilada, y'all. I want to live my life big, don't you? Don't you want to have more fun and see more things and meet more people and have more experiences? Don't you want to soak in the maximum that you can get out of life? That's my belief. So once you start to identify these things, you can really start to work on putting beliefs or thinking into your head on purpose, like a computer, like AI. We're going to teach your brain, we're going to teach your soul, if you will, some of these basic concepts that are, you were created for a time such as this, and God is on your side. He is for you and not against you, right? The game is rigged in your favor. You have all the right people, all the right circumstances. These are things you can feed your brain. And I know it sounds Pollyanna. I got you. I get it. But listen, once you start to get these concepts, it is amazing what happens. So the next step is, how do I get those beliefs into my head? I love stuff like Think Up app. I'm sure there's a million other free apps that you can get where you can literally record your own voice saying affirmations or even why questions. I've read a book one time that called them afformations, meaning, well, why does this come so easily to me, right? Why do I read so quickly? What makes people want to interact with me on a daily basis? What makes people smile when they see me? Like, you could even, instead of just saying a statement, you can ask yourself a question, because your brain actually does work in questions and answers, right? So when you pose a question to your brain chews on that and tries to figure out the right answer. And so what a cool way to hack your brain a little bit. You can put these affirmations or questions into your Think Up app, and you can actually record them with some soft music, and you get your little earbuds out and you can listen to those after you visualize. You can listen to your own voice telling you truths about yourself or things that you want to instill into your heart and your mind and your soul, so that you can go out and do this dream life and empower yourself on a daily basis. Listen, I know this podcast is going to be amazing. We're going to interview all kinds of people who are out there making their dreams happen. We're going to give you the hope and the inspiration and all the things that you need in order to make your life your dream life. But here's the deal. You can't do it without you believing. So we've got to get to that core belief. And I love something like listening to your own voice tell yourself. It drowns out all the other voices, you guys. It's so empowering. So check out Think Up app. I don't get paid by them or anything. It's just a free app that I learned to use. And it's just a beautiful way to incorporate stuff we used to do 20 years ago. We used to have to record it on an audio cassette. Y'all remember that? Or on a CD, and then like get a pillow speaker and listen to it underneath your pillow. And now we have these amazing earbuds that you can put in and take 10 minutes and listen to your affirmations. If you don't believe yourself, what I would say is go to truth, whatever that is for you. For me, that is Bible scripture. You can put Bible scripture with every truth, that you were created in the image of God, that he knew you before, you were knitted together in your womb, your mother's womb, not your womb, your mother's womb, right? So you can put truth with that. I always call that truth with a capital T. If you don't believe yourself, it's a problem. So we got to start putting in beliefs that you know are true in your heart and in your mind. And somewhere in there, I know you were created enough. If you weren't created as enough, think of it this way. How could one tree be better than another tree out there? How could one seed be better than another seed? Now, I'm not saying that one tree couldn't be bigger or one tree smaller or leaves could be greener or whatever, right? But you can't say they're better. One of the mentors I have, coaches that I've had in my lifetime said, it's like waves of the ocean and one wave comparing themselves to another wave. And, I wish my crest was bigger and I wish my, height was taller and da-da-da. We're all waves in the ocean. Like, we cannot compare. That's the bad part about social media, is this comparison thing. Blech. Like, yuck, throw that out. You were created as enough, because if you have air in your lungs and your heart is beating, you're here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. Your plan is already set in motion, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have been created. If you're having a hard time with all this, I would love for you to listen to this again. I would love for you to put yourself out in nature. I feel like nature, gosh, I love my dogs, but any kind of pet you have, or just watching the birds out there, the squirrels, the roadrunners here in Texas, the deer, right? The foxes, we have all kinds of wildlife around here in the hill country. But here's the deal. If you get out to nature, you can't help but get peaceful when you see your dog stretch out or your cat stretch out for a nap. They're not worried about tomorrow. They're not worried about 5 minutes ago. They're just in the moment. They're totally present, like Eckhart Tolle, right? The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle wrote. But the deal is, nature is really who we are. It's just all this junk in today's world that we're caught up in media and politics. Politics. And all the things that we think we know. Get back to truth. Go to nature. My mentor, Michael Neal, who I did his Genius Catalyst program, amazing Michael Neal. One of the things that he said in one of the workshops we did, which I thought was so brilliant, was he said, it's like we're riding the roller coaster of life, and there's ups and there's downs and we're screaming and whatever, but we are safely belted in. And this roller coaster is going on while sitting on top of a ship that is peacefully flowing down a river. That's the peace that God says that surpasses all understanding. It's actually in you now. You may not be using it. You may just be experiencing all the ups and downs and crashes and burns and craziness that is life. But I'm telling you, there's this peace underneath, because that is life. That is the essence of God. That is the essence of the universe, if you will, whatever it is you want to call that. It is love. It is peace. It is for you, not against you. And that is always there. It's just our mind is so caught up. It's spinning in the roller coaster, right? It's like the snow globe, Michael would say. It's like the snow globe that is shaken up and all the snow is fluttering around you because your mind is going a million miles an hour. And we have to get that quiet time in every day. We have to get peaceful. We have to turn off the noise. Get quiet, sit out in nature at least once a day for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you can spare. And allow that peace to penetrate your heart. That voice, the voice that God has, he is the good shepherd, right? And a good shepherd, all of his sheep know his voice. Can't hear his voice if your volume's turned up in the world. You have to turn that volume down every day and get peaceful in nature. Quiet time, your prayer time, what some people call meditation time, all of that is so important. And remember that whatever you're putting into yourself is what you're going to be getting out. So if you're just putting in garbage and, binge watching all the Netflix and the Hulu and whatever, and movies, and, if you're only inputting and you're never just calming everything down so that you can feel that peace and hear God's voice, you're gonna be riding this roller coaster. It's gonna exhaust you. And I don't know about you, but man, even the last year, y'all, I've had 4 years of the hardest years of my life. And one of the biggest things I can tell you is, I needed to find that peace, that peaceful ship. And once I did, it has become like the world opened up to me again. The colors of the world got turned up. You know what I mean? And I could see all the brightness and all the goodness of the world. And that's what I want for you. I want you to get to that place. So I'm so excited you're on this journey with me for this podcast and for coaching. If you need coaching, whether it's one-on-one or groups, I'm offering all kinds of new things with dreamcatalyst.com. I'm very excited to be able to help you. And I can't wait for you to hear the lineup of people that are coming to talk to you. People that are out there making their dreams happen. And we're going to dig into some of their beliefs. We're going to dig into how they keep it fresh and inspired. And we're going to dig into some actions that you can take. Because the whole goal of this entire thing is to give you hope and to equip you with what you need so that you can be empowered to go out there and live your dream life. And by the way, Dream Catalyst, the reason I picked Dream Catalyst is because I am not here to change your dreams. I am here to help you get there faster. In chemistry, a catalyst is the chemical, if you will, or additive that is given to a reaction to speed the reaction up, to start from what you have and to get where you want to go. That's what I do. So I hope this blessed you. I hope you will share this with a friend, and I hope you will hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed day. And remember, I believe in you. I know that you have a plan that is your plan. And I believe it's now. The time is now for you to go out and complete it. Have a blessed week.